We like to think we've got the rules of our world pretty much figured out. Gravity, physics, how time works. But what if I told you there's a place, right on the coast of India, that seems to play by a completely different set of rules? Today, we're diving into the Jagannath Temple, a place that's home to some of the most profound mysteries that seriously challenge everything we think we know about science and logic. So let's go back in time for a second. Picture this, it's 1558. A brutal general is marching his army to the temple with one goal: tear it to the ground. But as they get close, something impossible happens. The sky just turns black. A blinding, terrifying light erupts from inside the temple. The soldiers completely lose it. Some just faint on the spot, others run for their lives in absolute terror. The whole invasion just ends. And this isn't just some old story, it's the very first clue that this is no ordinary place. And that insane event wasn't a one-off thing. The temple's defiance of our world's rules happens every single day. Just look up at the flag on top. Being on the coast, the wind always blows in from the sea, right? Well, this flag always flutters in the opposite direction against the wind. How on earth is that even possible? And it gets weirder. See that giant metal disc up on the dome? It's called the Sudarshan Chakra. It's an incredible piece of ancient engineering, but it's got this baffling secret. No matter where you are in the entire city of Puri, if you look at it, it will always seem like it's facing you directly. It's like a perceptual trick that modern architects can't even fully figure out. This next one is a real head-scratcher, and it happens in the temple's kitchen. Cooks there stack 7 clay pots, one on top of the other, over a wood fire. Now, basic physics tells us the pot on the bottom, the one closest to the flame, should cook first, right? Of course. But not here. In this kitchen, the food in the 7th pot, the one at the very top, is always ready first. That's a flat-out violation of the laws of thermodynamics. Okay, so all these weird things, the flag, the chakra, the cooking pots, they're all fascinating, right? But they might just be symptoms of something much, much deeper. They all seem to point to the very heart of the temple, to something incredibly sacred and powerful that's believed to be hidden away inside its idols. It's something called the Brahma Padarth. According to ancient texts, 5,000 years ago, when the deity Sri Krishna left his physical body, he was cremated. His entire body turned to ash, all except for one thing: his heart. It was completely untouched by the fire, still beating. And it's believed that very heart is inside the temple to this day. So you've got this living heart of a god. How do you even handle that? Well, every 12 years, they perform a secret ritual to move the Brahma Padarth into a new wooden idol. And the precautions they take are insane. The power for the entire city is cut. The head priest has to be blindfolded, and his hands are wrapped in thick layers of cloth so he can't see or even feel the object. The warning is absolute. If any mortal lays eyes on it, they will die. Instantly. So what in the world is this thing? Well, from the perspective of faith, it's exactly what they say it is: the living heart of a god, just radiating divine energy. But then there's this other, more modern theory, and it sounds like something straight out of a comic book. It suggests the Brahma Padarth is an ancient device, like an arc reactor, generating a massive amount of power. And this theory says the idols have to be made of wood, because wood is an insulator. It's the only thing that can contain an electromagnetic field so powerful that metal just can't handle it. Now, officially, no one's supposed to see this thing, but there is one unverified story from decades ago that gives us a potential clue. A man who claimed he saw it didn't describe a heart at all. He said it was a substance that flowed like liquid silver. And get this, he said that as soon as light hit it, it started to spin and vibrate violently, which, if true, would totally explain why the transfer ceremony has to happen in complete and total darkness. All right. So if a potentially super-powered, ancient object wasn't enough for you, the temple is also guarding a temporal mystery. It's not just the keeper of an ancient relic, it's also the keeper of a book that is said to foretell the future. We're talking about a book called the Bhavishya Malika. It was written 500 years ago by a saint, and it's said to be a roadmap of prophecies, detailing major world events that will lead to the end of our current era, the Kali Yuga. And look, I get it. Ancient prophecies, you might be skeptical. But here's where it gets really spooky. Some of its predictions have been shockingly accurate and very, very recent. The book predicted the temple's huge chakra would be bent by a storm. Well, in 2019, Cyclone Fani did exactly that. It said the temple's flag would catch fire. That happened in March 2020. And then there's this line, which is just chilling. A great sickness will come. People will stay in their homes. I mean, come on, that's a direct hit describing the global lockdowns during the pandemic. Okay, so we've got a divine artifact and a book of prophecies. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. The daily life at this temple is just a collection of things that make no logical sense. It's like logic just stops at the front gate. Let's go back to that kitchen for a second, the one with the upside-down cooking. Every day, it prepares a sacred meal, feeding anywhere from a couple thousand to over 200,000 people. And here's the miracle. The amount of food they cook is always the perfect amount. Not one grain of rice is ever wasted, and they never, ever run short. This next one is something you could actually experience for yourself, and it is absolutely mind-bending. The temple is right next to the ocean, so the sound of the waves crashing is constant, it's loud. But the very second you take one step through the main gate, the Singhdwaram, the sound of the ocean completely disappears. It's just silent. You take one step back out, and it roars back to life. It's like someone hits a mute button. And while you're there, just look up. You'll see the sky. But you know what you won't see? Birds. Not a single bird ever flies over the main dome of the temple. And it's an unofficial no-fly zone for airplanes, too. It's something pilots have talked about for decades, but there's no scientific reason for it. Even the steps into the temple have a life-or-death rule. There are 22 steps that lead you into the main area. But pilgrims are warned, you must never, ever set your foot on the third step. It's called Yamashila. It's believed to be the domain of Yama, the god of death, and stepping on it is said to instantly erase all the spiritual good you've earned on your pilgrimage. So what do you do with all this? The impossible physics, the eerie prophecies, all these daily miracles? It all just defies any easy explanation. It really forces you to ask a pretty fundamental question about how reality even works. I mean, let's just recap for a second, because it's a lot. We have a flag that ignores the wind, a kitchen that breaks the laws of physics, a secret object that might be a divine heart or some kind of alien reactor, a 500-year-old book that seems to predict our present, and a building that can literally manipulate sound and the airspace above it. It all really boils down to this. Are we just looking at a massive collection of coincidences, really clever illusions, and stories that have been told for centuries? Or is the Jagannath temple a true anomaly, a place that operates on a totally different set of rules, where the laws of physics as we know them just don't apply? The answer, at least for now, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the world.